He's like, hold on, wait a minute, I'm a dog and she really wants to fuck her dog. Wait, I'm the dog. Alright, now it's time for episode 4 of the dog fucker anime, or the white woman anime, whichever you want to fucking call it. Now it's time for episode 4. So episode 4 starts right when the last episode left off, which is with Inukai-san coming out of the closet, I think, and wearing her fucking dog costume, which it's just like, you just look at it and it's like, what the fuck is she wearing? Like, I think that lady's a little too friendly with her dog, you know, not normal, but you know, alright, whatever. And just like most of the episodes, just like every other episode so far, it's pretty one-to-one, like shot for shot, showing her laying down on the floor, getting friendly with the dog, and she, you know, she's having her chest out and everything, and she whips up this little Tamagotchi thing, and it says, and but the crazy thing is the subtitle says "Doggy Linkus." I don't know who wrote that, but that, like, you hear that name and it's like, wait, that doesn't sound right. you know exactly what that's referring to, but wow. But I gotta give it to the translator, like, or whoever wrote those subtitles. That shit is really funny. I'll give them that at least. It translates dog into human, so now we're gonna find out what the fuck she's talking about. Wait, do you realize how questionable that sounds? And she's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna use it to find out how you feel. And then she's like, oh, so you love me, right? You love me, right? Yeah, of course you do, little doggy, you love me. And he's like, come on, you don't seriously believe that old toy can actually translate for me, do you? Yeah, he's questioning everything right now. He doesn't, I think he's realizing that maybe being a dog isn't as all it's cracked up to be, because now you gotta deal with this, and this seems like a handful. He says, he barks and says, I love you on the inside, but let's see how it translates. Oh. Well, she fucking collapses on the floor, and the Tamagotchi falls down. And he's like, oh my god, Inukai-san, what the fuck just happened? Yeah, then she's dead on the floor. Like, she looks like someone killed her. She's just completely dead. The angle's different in the anime. In the anime, she fell facing towards the right, whereas in the manga, she fell to the left. So the angle's different, but it still conveys the same feeling, and as usual, anime, not the manga, makes it look more horrifying, I think, with the shading and everything. Like, there's more shadows in the shading. Here in the anime, they kind of just use like the dark effect, like near the forehead and everything, you know, to convey that she's horrified. But in the manga, it looks like someone fucking knocked her out. Yeah, so what it says is that I ain't messing with humans who like little poodles. I ain't messing with humans who like cute little poodles. He's like, I didn't even say any of that shit. What? Oh, and then right here, she's like waggling her ass in front of the fucking dog and wiggling the tail, which does not look like it's on her hip. In the anime, in the manga, it clearly looks like the tail is located like at the hip, like where you would put like a tail accessory, like if you're cosplaying. In the anime, it does not look like it's there in that particular spot, if you know what I mean. Yeah, he's like, you don't think, I don't think you want to be that desperate. He's like, I think you're getting a little desperate. He's like, hold on, wait a minute, I'm a dog and she really wants to fuck her dog. Wait, I'm the dog. And he's just like, oh no. Yeah, and then her mom walks in and she's like, what are you doing? And then she makes like, okay, the angle here is different because it's not from Pochita's perspective, because in the manga, you see like Karen's face, like Inukai's face, like completely deadpan with the shadows like covering it. But here, like, it's from like a side view, I guess, so it's easier to convey. But it's just so fucking funny. Yeah, and then she's like, oh, I'm just... Oh no, here they actually added an extra part where in the anime she says like, oh no, I'm doing push-ups, but she's like, why are you wearing dog ears? And then she throws the ears. Oh no, actually no, in the anime it's the same as the manga, but it made it go a little bit longer. But she's like, oh, I'm doing push-ups, and then she's like, oh, why are you wearing dog ears? She fucking smacks them away. But the manga doesn't say anything about the tail. The tail is mentioned, the tail is there in the anime. And then you see it right here, she ripped the tail off of her ass. And I don't think that's what I think it was. I think it is what I think it was. She's like, yeah, don't hurt yourself, okay? Just wanted to make a quick correction because I said that in the recording that they didn't talk about like the tail that she was wearing in her dog costume, but it happened out of order because originally in the manga, like she talked to her mom and she throws the ears away, and then like she starts trying to arouse the dog a little bit more, and then later the mom I think comes back and then the tail gets, she pulls out the tail, and then they go back to the next scene where she's getting ready to go to sleep later. So that was a small correction I forgot to make. Yeah, and the Inukai-san is like, you see, she totally bought it. And he's like, yeah, I don't think so. No, she did not. Yeah, and then she's like, so tell me the truth. Do you think I'm a fucking weirdo? Do you think it's wrong to like a dog? Like, is it weird? Yeah, is it weird to be into stuff most people aren't into? Yeah, so this episode I like a lot. And obviously this chapter I like a lot because it explores Inukai-san's personality, explains like what she's like as a character. Because on the surface, like, yeah, she's kind of like a yandere, like cold as ice, like heartless kind of person that does not want to interact with other people and does not like people. But deep down, she's someone that likes things that other people would say is taboo, which no shit, but like because of that and because of people looking at her that way, she closes herself off because she doesn't want anyone to interact with her. She doesn't want to open up to anybody because she's like, no, I'm weird. Nobody likes me. Nobody likes what that I'm into a dog, and she's like, it's unacceptable, but I can't resist it. Is it weird to like something that other people don't? Well, I guess as long as it's legal, I guess. In some places, I guess it is, but Inukai-san's whole thing is like she feels isolated and rejected because of the fact that she really likes her dog, and you'll see in the later episodes like why she's this particular way, besides maybe just having a dog fetish, but there's like a more personal reason as to why she's like that. But on the surface it just looks like she's either a potential dog fucker or she is a dog fucker. Like either she's already done it or she hasn't yet. But you'll learn soon enough why, like in the later episodes. But yeah, then it cuts to a flashback that Pochita has, where he remembers when he was human, where he was in the flower garden, and he remembered meeting Usagi, the other girl with the pink hair, and he only ever talked to her because he was someone he knew in the flower garden, because they were taking care of the flowers in school. And then Usagi's more of a social person, so she's kind of hanging out with other people. And he's like, yeah, see, like, in a weird way, I feel like I'm living in a different world from them. Yeah, Pochita also feels like an outsider, because other people he knows can socialize and interact with other people, but meanwhile, he likes plants and he takes care of plants, but he's a loner, because he doesn't seem to have any friends and he doesn't talk with other people. He just kind of sits in his own world, so he kind of sees himself similar to Inukai-san, but at the same time, she's also very distant from him and very distant from everybody else because she feels that she's so different that because of what she's into that she can't communicate with the rest of the world, so she's isolated. And he sees that more human aspect of her when, ironically, like after becoming a dog, he can see that she's a very cheerful and playful kind of person, and maybe a little too playful, a little too friendly, but besides that, he can see that there's like a nice innocent person to a degree inside of that cold hard shell. He can't really bring that out as a human because he's a dog, so, and even if he were to meet her as a human, would he really be able to bring that back out of her? Like, I don't know. Well, actually no, I do know, but I can't spoil anything that happens in the later episodes in the manga, so you're gonna have to just keep going and read or watch it for yourself. Yeah, but he calls her like the ice queen, and that how she is always cold, distant, how he feels bad if he like looks at her, because she's like, right here she says something really important. Just because you're different doesn't mean you're weird. That's what she thinks. Yeah, just because you like something different doesn't mean you're weird. You're not weird. And yeah, and ever since, he said, ever since she offered me those kind words, I've been crushing on Inukai-san. Ever since she said that to him, it gave him some confidence to pursue to pursue like his own interests and how he really feels about stuff. To be fair, I don't know what the fuck he was into before becoming a dog, so I don't know if he was into something weird, but I think it's more like Inukai-san said that, and now that he's a dog, he's able to take what she said and apply it to her so that he can save her potentially and help her get over her own social and personal and emotional problems. But you know, she's still also like a dog fucker, so there's kind of that issue to tackle as well. So I don't know, they're gonna have to get around that too, which they kind of don't. Because you know, it keeps going. He's like, I have no idea how the dog thing translated what I just said, but I can't rely on some cheap toy. He's like, I need to be able to speak to her on my own. One day I'll tell her myself. Because I think this is where like the manga starts to get more interesting. Because, you know, obviously it'll have a lot of fan service and shock factor, shock value. We're like, oh, whoa, they actually got away with that, or they actually showed that, or this and that. There's a scene that got completely taken out of the anime, where after he was having that talk with Inukai-san, where she was talking about how, you know, is it wrong to be a weird person? Is it weird to like things that other people don't like? And you know, obviously he doesn't seem to think so, because the words that she said to him, like when he was human, really spoke to him. But there's an entire part where he's licking her fucking belly button, and she's getting super turned on, and she's just like, oh my god, wow, this is great. She's like, man, I hope you keep doing that. And he's just like, and I'm just like, oh, what in the fuck? I somehow completely missed that page when I was initially looking through. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I can't believe it. I don't know why they took that out. Why did they take that out of the anime? It's so fucking funny. And it's like, wait, whoa. Is the anime trying to tone down some of the dog pucker elements, even though they kind of went pretty all in on episode like 2? It was all up in that crotch, but you know, oh well, whatever. I think what I like about it is that the manga and anime, hopefully the anime can replicate it, but the manga kind of goes out of its way to present more than what's on the surface. It shows like a different side to the other characters and what their motivations are, and I like that a lot, because they could just make it very shallow and very like stupid and just keep going with the whole gimmick, but they do go on with the gimmick, but at the same time they elaborate more on it. And where I'm currently at in the manga, they're focusing more on the character relationships, and then, you know, the dog stuff is still there, but it's like they want to focus on the story while having some fun gags and everything with the dog, but don't want to make it completely shallow and, you know, just dumb. Because remember, the manga is described as a 3D, as like a VR romantic comedy, because it's from a first-person perspective, so it's like a POV kind of thing. So everything is from Pochita's perspective, so everything comes out of him. Like everything that you see is supposed to be from his perspective. So we're seeing not only his life change from being a dog, you know, to seeing Karen's and Nekotani and everybody change around him. So that's something that I think is great about the manga. But you know, the anime hasn't gotten to all the really good stuff yet. But already starting with this chapter, you see that there's more than just, oh dog, what's the dog doing? Yeah, well, there's more than just what the dog is doing. Yeah, because he learns more about Inukai-san here, where she's, you know, she's getting dressed, she's getting changed and going into her pajamas. She looks like she's super busy. Oh, right here, she falls on the bed. She like plants herself on the bed, and the angle's different. Where like it's on the left side. You see her on the left side with her ass out in the manga, but in the anime it's on the right side. I don't know why it's constantly like in a different direction, but yeah, that's a thing. So while Pochita's observing, you know, Inukai-san and seeing her fall asleep, he's brainstorming a new idea, like to get back into his house. So, you know, he's like, oh, if I use her phone, if I use Inukai-san's phone, I can send a delivery to Nekotani, and then like get her distracted so that she'll open the door for the delivery man, and then he can like sneak out of the house and go back to his home, because Nekotani's house is right next to his. So if he can get a way back in there, you know, he can get home and, you know, figure out what the fuck is going on with his house and everything, his family. His mom probably waiting for him or some shit. But, you know, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know what's going on because, you know, he's just a dog. Yeah, then right here, there's a little flashback where he's, well, not flashback, but it's like a thing's coming up with his head. He's like, oh, okay, I got it, I'm gonna just get out of here. And then, yeah, Inukai-san, she's asleep, and he's like, oh, I need to use the phone. And then he's like, wait, what the fuck, the phone has a fingerprint security? He's like, okay, so I gotta, like, start licking her hands. And I'm just like, okay. Oh yeah, now she starts like cuddling him, and he's like, I need to get out of here. He's like, I need to pry myself out of here. He's like, help, I'm stuck. He's like, I can't reach the phone, I need help. And then he starts licking her. Oh, he starts like really licking her hand. He's like, how's this? And she's like, oh, that's good. And she's like, oh god, oh my god. And he's going. He's like, you really want me to lick you again? He's like, hey, yo. He's like, alright, fine. And then this part is kind of weird because he's just going all in on the... He's just going all in on the tongue action. I assume that she probably would want that tongue action somewhere else, but, you know, it's just on her hands for now. But hey, that doesn't mean she's not gonna... I don't know if she'll wipe those germs away later. Yeah, so there's your, dirty moment for the episode where... Oh yeah, the subtitles here are so fucking funny. He's like, I think I got her off me, because you know she was holding him. I'm like, that's so fucking clever. I don't know how accurate that is in the Japanese, but I think the subtitles was pretty clever there. I think I got her off me. And then he's like, alright, so now I can move the phone and use the fingerprint scan with her finger. And then he gets annoyed because he's like, wait, why the fuck is that picture of me peeing outside her wallpaper? He's like, what the fuck is that? Hey yo, what the fuck? He's like, alright, whatever. Time to go to Amazon. Okay, so my question is how, I still ask this question when I read the manga. How the fuck is a dog using Amazon? Like, I know he's a dog that has a human, like, thought process. But it's like, how is he swiping the phone with his little doggy paws and clicking on everything like as a dog? Like, I don't think dogs can touch a phone the same way like a human can with like swiping, and because you know it's like our fingerprints or like the way our skin is and stuff. Like that's why like sometimes when you wear gloves you can't like swipe the phone. So like I don't know how that fucking works with dog paw prints, but this fucking criminal mastermind dog is like, alright, I'm gonna order some shit on Amazon, send it to her neighbor, and then he's looking at her like history. He's looking at her browser history. He's like, oh, you know, I should try and delete some of that. He's like, oh, so she's been doing part-time jobs. She's been working really hard to pay for stuff and to pay for food, for dog food. He's like, oh, so that's why she's been coming home late. So then, you know, he does a nice gesture. He puts a blanket on her so that she can sleep peacefully. She cares so, yeah, he's right here. He says, she cares so much for me right now, but only because I'm a dog. And when I go back to being a human, we'll be as distant as ever. Yeah, he knows that. Do I really need to be a human again? Yeah, he knows that at the moment, it's potentially like unconditional love, and that, you know, she only likes him because that's her pet dog, and she just likes dogs. But even if the dog doesn't like her, she'll still love the dog anyway. But like when he's human again, is she going to give a shit about him? Like even if she found out that he was the dog, or somehow, you know, learns that him and the dog are the same thing, would she still care about him? And I think that's ultimately like what the manga is leading up to. At some point, it still hasn't really happened. Like maybe he'll go back to being a human. Maybe he'll go back. Maybe he'll just stay as a dog. You don't know. You gotta keep reading, keep watching. But yeah. That's his internal struggle at the moment. Like, do I want Inukai-san to love me as a dog unconditionally, or can I get her to love me as a human and see me for who I really am? And I'm like, alright, well, you're gonna have to figure that out. He's like, yes I do. He's like, this isn't who I am. I'm not a dog. I don't like lying to Inukai-san like this. He wants to be himself, not a dog. But I don't see too many negatives to being a dog besides having a shorter lifespan. And I guess not being able to talk. He's like, I can't do that, right? He's like, can I just turn back into a dog? He's like, listen, I don't want you cozying up with Nekotani while we're at her place. He's like, no funny business. Not like last time. He's like, you got that? She's like, good. Yeah, I'm the only one you're supposed to be touching. Yeah, so here, he finally gets to see his own home. which is right next to the left, and he's like, oh boy, I can't wait to go home, and then it cuts off. So unfortunately, you don't get to see one of the funniest chapters in the manga, and one of the ones that have like the most elaborate, like one of the most elaborate first-person scenes. So it ends here at the end of chapter 6. So it throws from the beginning of chapter 5 to the end of chapter 6. So next episode 5, will be covering chapter 7 and potentially chapter 8. And these two are really impressive for their first-person points of view, and for some of the for the shenanigans that happen later on. There's more shenanigans with Nekotani, and there's also some very suggestive moments with Inukai-san. And not really a spoiler, but you'll potentially see the new girl, Usagi. So look forward to that. It happened, yeah, so she appears in like chapter 8, so hopefully in this next episode, in episode 5, she'll appear, but no promises, because, you know, I don't fucking know the pacing of the anime. But hopefully they can introduce all 3 of the main girls like at a timely manner, because they've already shown her in flashbacks and everything, so, you know, she'll obviously be introduced later on. So it's only a matter of time. Anyway,犬になったらepisode 4. We'll look forward to episode 5 coming out very soon, like either later today or tomorrow, whenever the fuck I upload this. So yeah, look forward to that. That's all I wanted to say. But let me know what your favorite moment of this episode is, and what you think about Inukai-san or about Nekotani in general, and what you think about the anime. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Bye.